And welcome back to our channel. Today's tutorial is going to be really simple and all about our Brilliant Bronzer. I know it's been a really long time since I've done an actual tutorial just showing you guys how to really beautifully bronze the face. And this is something and a technique that can be used all year long. And depending on the season, you can go a little heavier or a little lighter depending on your preference. So without further ado, let's just get right into the look. One easy and simple tip to keep in mind when bronzing the skin is to make sure it looks naturally sun-kissed. Whether you just want to add some warmth or even add depth and dimension, less is more when going in with bronzer. And because we are using our Brilliant Bronzer today, which is a powder product, you always want to make sure that you have powdered your skin first, just so that it's not getting kind of splotchy and it goes on really smooth and flawless. So all you're going to need for the first part of this tutorial is our Brilliant Bronzer Healthy Glow and your number 3 bronzer brush. I like to just tap a little bit right into the cap. This is going to be the easiest way to work with this bronzer because it is a loose bronzer. And you're going to grab your number 3 bronzer brush and just swirl it right in that cap. You're going to make sure to tap off any of the excess product. I like to just give it like a little tap and even do it on the back of my hand because like I said, less is more and we want this to look really natural. So you're just going to start in the hollow of your cheek, kind of feel for your cheekbone, and where it gets hollow, that's where you're going to bronze. And I'm just going to take that number 3 brush, and I like to do a little circular motions so I don't have a really harsh stripe of bronzer. And I'm only coming to about here with the bronzer. I don't want to drag it too far down towards the corner of my mouth because that's actually going to draw my face in and down. And we always want our makeup to make our face look up and lifted. So we're just going to go about halfway and do small little circles. And as you can see, I'm blending it into the hairline, because I don't want a start and stopping point right there. So as you can see, this just gave me a really natural definition to the skin, and as you can see when I turn, it's just going to give a little hint of a line of definition there, but also add a really beautiful warmth. Super quick and easy for the cheekbones. Now we're going to bronze / contour the forehead. So I'm just going to go right across the top of the forehead, and I like to keep mine really close to that hairline because I do have a smaller set forehead. I really don't need to bring that down too far. If you want to have your forehead appear smaller, just bring your bronzer down a little bit, and I like to bring it down further on the sides of the forehead if you're going to, versus bringing it all the way down in the center. So you can kind of just do like a little bit of an arch here and go back and forth. Again, going into that hairline to make sure everything looks nice and blended. For the jawline, we're going to grab, again, a little bit more of the bronzer. So there's no excess product. And I like just to run it across the jawline. I like to keep it underneath and not bring it up because I don't want my jawline to look dirty, if that makes sense, or muddy. So we want to keep it right below that jawline, and I like to do small little circular motions just so that it looks like a nice natural shadow there. And we're also going to bring it down in the center of the neck. This is really important just to make sure everything looks nice and cohesive, because you don't really want a really beautiful sun-kissed face and then a really pale neck or whatever the case may be. Even if you're not pale, you still want to bring that down onto the center of the neck just so that everything looks nice and cohesive and it looks really beautiful and all tied together. Also going to show you 2 ways that you can bronze your nose. Some people prefer to use bronzer to kind of contour the nose a little bit, right down the sides, and then also there are days when I like to just kind of sweep it across the middle just to look like the sun has naturally hit there if I'm not really into a really structured look. So the first way I'm going to show you is just that natural sun-kissed look, and I'm going to pick up the tiniest bit of that product in the cap and kind of swirl it in the back of my hand. And the trick with this is to make sure that it looks natural and there's not a stripe across your nose. So we're just going to do like a couple of little dustings and naturally get a little red or a little tan from the sun. The second option is going to be to add a little bit more structure to the nose, and for this I love using our number 9 Fluffy Blender, and I'm going to pick up a little bit of that product on the brush, tap off any of the excess, and I'm going to go right down the sides of the nose, and I like to line mine up kind of where my brow starts, so it's going to be right on the sides here. And I'm going to sweep it down just very light-handedly. A little bit goes a long way. Keep in mind, the further you bring in your bronzer on the sides, so this way, the more narrow your nose is going to look. The next two tricks I'm going to give you guys are totally just optional, nothing that you have to do every day, but something that when I'm feeling a little extra I like to do, or even if I'm in a hurry. So for the first one, if you want to make your lip just stand out, if you're wearing a really beautiful lip color and you just want it to pop a little bit, you're just going to take that number 9 brush and dust bronzer right along that bottom lip line. I'm also going to use that number 9, grab a little bit more of that product, and this is one of my favorite everyday looks that I do, is I love putting our Brilliant Bronzer on the eyelids as eyeshadow, and no matter what your eye shape, eye color, this looks beautiful on everyone, and I love blending it up towards that brow bone, making it look really nice and diffused, and then just sweeping it across the eyelid for a really natural but finished look that's super quick and easy. Alright you guys, that completes my super simple bronzing technique. Just remember to create that 3 shape and bronze where the sun would naturally hit. I always recommend going in with a little bit of a light hand and adding more as needed. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us here at Crunchy today, and we'll see you next time. Bye guys!